GM.
Oh, GM there, buddy.
Howdy, howdy.
Oh,
It's a nice green morning. Good morning, green morning.
yeah, a good green morning is like, I mean, out here it's kind of gray, but on the charts it's looking pretty, and that's all I look at all day anyway. So I'm excited for it. I saw some pretty big, exciting news. Dracula, your bounty was filled, dude. You placed a bounty on Cardano, and we took him out, dude.
I know it's coming. I had to give a little nod there because after, I guess it was, I don't know if it was last episode or the one before, where I had made this mention about, DeFi Llama and we got to flip Cardano. We'll never underestimate the people that are like really in the Cardano, because I don't think I had ever had like a reaction, like talking about like a different chain online. Like there were a handful of posts that kind of like had a clip about it, and people were commenting on it, and I got some DMs. So yeah, I guess it caused a little bit of a stir, but we're getting there though. Your days are numbered.
Is this your first time calling out like a network on camera, dude? One time I made fun of Acon Coin on YouTube, and someone came in and within like 30 seconds was like shitting on me. And I was like, I didn't even know people liked Acon Coin, dude. I thought everyone knew that was the scam.
Like the rapper?
Yeah, do you remember Acon Coin?
Yeah.
He was going to build a futuristic city in Africa, and all he's built is like half of a welcome center. He's raised like $10 million for half of it. Yeah. So I had people in the chat, some Nigerian guy being like, "You're brittle people."
Well,
brittle.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna roll with it, I guess.
Well, look, it's gonna get worse because next up. Oh wait, maybe it's just the filter I got on. On my screen, I see Sonic above Cardano.
Oh, well, it could be, it might be like people, not people, but you can like flip the L2. You can like fold in the L2 volume and all that, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to put one arm behind our back.
Okay.
We're going to take it fair and square.
Okay.
We're not going to rely on any DeFi Llama filter handicaps, right?
Okay.
We're going in. This is raw, unfiltered. Because you know what? We got 4 spots to go. Last week it was about 7. So
good progress.
Your days are numbered. I mean, what are they? I keep wanting to let's see. Alex here says they are a strong cult. Is there like a name for Cardano people? You know what I mean? Like,
no, they're too serious, dude.
Yeah, like are they like the ADA heads, or the Charles Heart Warriors? I don't know. Like the Charlie boys.
The Charlie boys.
Yeah, the Charlie boys are strong cult.
Charlie's Angels, yeah.
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels, they're all dead.
Yeah. So so that was kind of fun. Like I said, I just out of all the things I've ever said on here, I didn't know that talking about Cardano was really just gonna.
Well, buckle up, because once we flip Cardano, Pulse Chain, you're next, and those hexagons are going to flood us, going to cause an immigration crisis.
I'm going to be nice to the hexagons. I'm not going to mess with them, man.
They got a wizard as their leader, Richard Hart, so it's probably better not to.
Yeah, we'll play nice with them, but Cardano, nah, man. It's all on the table.
Here's a good marketing stunt. I'd love to see this. I'd love to see Andre versus Richard Hart debate. I don't know on what.
That would be pretty interesting. Benny says ADA Link XRP communities battling for most insufferable. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say though, when XRP had their like court ruling and it finally pumped, I mean, I don't hold any, but I was even just kind of like, good for those guys. They've been suffering longer than anyone. I mean, shit, XRP. I mean, Ripple, that's been around since like what, 2011 or 12, or I mean, it's like early days. So you probably could have held like the SP 500 and outperformed it, but still happy for those guys that they finally got a win. Actually, it's interesting, XRP coming up, because all of my fumbling the last couple of times I've pulled up charts and stuff, I finally found that dominance chart that I like, and Ripple has made such a effect since that court ruling that now they put XRP on this dominance chart with Solana and Ethereum, which is wild to me. But I guess there really is that much of the market share is Ripple. I mean, it's crazy. XRP, yeah. I mean, right now, XRP has more market dominance than Solana. Say that again. I can't.
XRP has more market dominance than Solana? That's crazy. Doing what?
I don't know.
You want XRP? Can you do anything?
All right. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but to my knowledge, before there was even stable coins, which to me it sounds like the idea of XRP kind of basically got disrupted by stable coins, it was a system that banks could use to move funds back and forth, and I guess they would dominate or not dominate, they would determine the value based on the XRP value or something. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it sounds to me like stable coins pretty much disrupted whatever that plan was, but yet they're still here. It was supposed to just basically be like a way for institutions to move money around better.
Yeah, it was like it was supposed to be like an intra-bank transfer type system or whatever. Like fuck, we should talk about it all the time. I forget what it's called, but like that anyway, it's a huge business that the Fed operates, right? Like the interbank exchange stuff. So it's always kind of weird that people were like buying it. Like, you know what I mean?
But like, I haven't checked in a long time, so it's like maybe they've made a pivot at least. I mean, I would assume they had to at some point be like, okay, so people can move stable coins around now. So we are
yeah, like what does this become now? Like
like Benny says, the Swift killer. Yeah, I mean Swift was the word I think Corval was looking for. Yeah, like it was like the financial payment that goes between countries and all that stuff. But they got after it. I mean, talk about I guess a zombie protocol where it's like they raised so much money. I mean, they're never going to go anywhere. I mean, they got so much money, so many holders, so much involved.
They can just sell forever and they can print forever. I think is the thing that always turned me off about XRP is the unlimited. XRP I think was the first white paper I ever read. Like I think but it was just so long ago. Because I remember someone telling me like, "Oh, you got to read the white papers if you want to invest in crypto. You got to know."
I missed that where the white paper thing where like I loved where like you could even launch like a total shitter and you would have people like, "Have you seen the white paper yet?
Yeah.
Where's the white?" And the white paper is just like we're gonna shit post and we're getting a cartoon developed or something. I don't know.
Those are my favorite. It was like there's two kinds of white papers. There's the ones that are like a bunch of. Well, there's a bunch of types, but like the two, like let's say the shitty kinds of white papers I feel like you come across are like the ones where like they obfuscate the scam as much as possible with math. So like, if you're not used to reading like a research paper or whatever, you don't have a good grasp on math or like what they're referencing. You wouldn't be able to say like, this is bullshit. And then my other favorite is the one where it's like this is my actual favorite because it's way easier, is where it's just like a high school business plan that they like put together in like computer class. So it's like got a like nice graphics and nice like general plan, but it's not really like explaining what the product is.
Yeah, like this one I clicked on here. It's like you get a white paper that's like it's like a bunch of charts and formulas, but it's basically just like a DeFi Ponzi. But you're still like, oh, I see. Yes, the chart here, it all makes sense now that I'm,
Yeah, a lot of the times too, they would take like all like the math from say like curves pools or whatever, they would just like re-explain like stable swaps or some shit just to like fill up the page, and then they'd be like and then we just add another 0.5% fee on it.
Yeah, but so I mean, looking at the dominance, it looked like for a moment there we were starting to head. Bitcoin was getting in that 50% area, obviously back strong, 61%, which like I said, alt season of course could be different than all the other alt seasons, but I don't think we see alt season until Bitcoin is at least in the low 50s on dominance, but anything could happen.
I think that's fair. If it ever happens ever again, the whole market could go 100% Bitcoin at some point because it goes to 1 million. But our TVL, look, I keep going back to this. I don't know how yours is grouped different, but I see 500 million TVL on Sonic right now. And I think it's just primed really nicely, dude. Once, like I'm telling you, there's going to be I posted about this. There's going to be a flight to value soon. And if you've been using any of these products we've been talking about here on this show, you get like retarded APRs, bro. I'm talking retarded numbers here. We're talking finance.
Well, I did something different here because, obviously the timing with the Sonic launch, we pretty much launched and it's been, we've been hitting branches down the tree ever since. I don't use like fibs very like all the time, but I was just playing around with the chart and I was like, wow. I mean, look at the meme lines with the fibs. I mean, this is actually playing out pretty nicely. So, fib, the golden zone is about right here. So this is a retrace in terms of the fact that we've been down since, So if we're looking at fibs here, it looks like, if this recovery continues, we're hopefully looking for like a pretty rapid move back to like the mid 60s, which would be very nice.
A nice little recovery, then it won't be down so bad. We get a little pocket change off the
back. Yeah, I mean, like even these like wicks, they hit the thing here perfect. So I mean, so ideally we need to kind of break out of exactly where we're at, 48, 49, we need to, if we get back above 50, I think we're starting to look at like pretty good recovery.
Yeah, I agree with you. What do you think about sentiment right now, market wide? Do you think it's improving? I feel like it's been pretty low recently.
Yeah, sentiment's been low. Like, we've talked about on the show, I think people are still just kind of adjusting to the Trump financial era. It's still pretty chaotic at the moment. We had a huge, another big leg down, like all this, infighting, all this chaos went over the weekend. He had announced there was going to now be tariffs on, I forgot what it was. Oil and aluminum. Yeah, steel and aluminum or oil. Yeah. So just like the other tariff announcements, we had like a sharp, violent, leg down. And then everything kind of like started recovering last night. And I don't know, I'm not dialed into the news today yet, but I'm like, does that mean if it's like the other tariff announcements, he's already just said, nah, I'm not going to do it? Maybe.
I don't know. That one seems a little bit harder to roll back because it's like a global tariff.
Yeah. So maybe it was more like the market was like, oh no. And now
we're actually happening.
We're just getting a little like desensitized to the tariffs. I mean, I hope that's the case because I don't think he's going to change that strategy. So
yeah, from all countries. I don't know how that necessarily impacts our business directly, but I guess it's all connected.
Yeah, I mean, like I saw a post that was funny where it was like, I'm so glad, Ethereum's down 20% or whatever because of the aluminum tariffs, because that makes sense, right? Like,
yeah, I did think there's some like sentiment change kind of starting to spread. That I think people are getting a little bit more excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I mean, it's just like it's just a shift in what we're used to, and I think that ultimately, people will adapt and get used to it. I mean, we already looked at a dominance chart, so you could probably guess that Bitcoin is exactly in the same place it has now been for 2.5 months. But we're still ranging in this area. I guess the question is it the top and is it ready to lose a little dominance, or do we still have a ways to go?
It's
kind of hard to tell in this area. It's like, because I mean, of course, it's new all-time high. So, that's always hard but it is kind of like hard to say. I mean, it's like, this is obviously support now. So what is it going to take to move Bitcoin up to like, say 115, 120,
Yeah. I don't think this is going to bottom out here. Maybe it's my bullish nature here, but I still think we got a lot of room to run on Bitcoin still. Hopefully the alts, I don't know. I feel like I'm condemning the alts to eternal punishment with that. But I think that's the way it's going. Whether alts continue to bleed, I don't know. But it seems like it, right?
There could be.
Just seems like Bitcoin's got too much institutional buy-in and stuff right now.
I guess, and that's also where things could get interesting is, we got the Bitcoin ETF, we got the Ethereum ETF, there's several Solana ETFs that are in the ether trying to get, pushed through. Our friends at Cardano, I saw that someone just announced that they were putting in an application for a Cardano ETF. That's kind of crazy to me, but
whoa,
I think maybe that's almost the key, maybe it's like the more we see these ETFs and things getting kind of wrapped up, getting black holed in these ETFs, maybe that ends up being bullish for alts,
Yeah. I mean, we need a Sonic ETF, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe I should put the application in.
yeah, shout out to Maxis, who does some work with Funeral. He's trying to put together an ETF, and I said we were going to call it the SP500, the Sonic Printer 500. But then somebody said we don't even have 500 tokens yet. And all right, well, I won't finish the joke there because then I'm going to insult somebody. So, but yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's just not going anywhere. I just think that's still what it's going to take. I mean, I think it's we either need a leg up or we need dominance to fade a little bit.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe we should just pray on Bitcoin going down to 75. Bitcoin goes to 60, everything else rises, dude. I think there's just been a lot of extraction through like Solana and like memes. That's just my speculation.
Yeah.
So I feel like Bitcoin holding strong means at least there's some value still in the system.
But yeah, I mean, something I was going to talk about, speaking of TVL and stuff, was I saw here that Sonic and Royco got a little partnership announced.
Oh, nice.
And,
well, we've got the assistant has just come into the studio. We want to pull him up here and maybe he can give us some background information here, some behind the scenes plays.
Good morning, assistant.
God, he's slopping around. I'm taking him off. So he's done slopping around. Hello, assistant.
Yo.
You there with us?
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning indeed, sir.
Oh, man.
Royco. What were you thinking, dude?
I think what
were you thinking, dude?
Royco for a while, even before like the Barachain stuff. I like Royco just for the sake of like having a unified, like yielding dashboard. You know what I mean? Basically where you could see all the yield available for like to maximize points. I feel like right now it's like scattered. I could send you the link actually. You could like get a little preview of it. Give me a second.
Oh shit, we're getting some behind the scenes previews here. So this is gonna help me points max.
Huh?
When am I gonna know how I'm doing on the points, dude? My active points.
I think that's gonna be enabled any day now. It's just that they were waiting for a lot of like protocols because some apps were just slower than others. But things have sped up quite a bit. Hold on.
Okay. I mean, you guys were
well, yeah. So anyone that's not familiar with Royco, basically, on like a chain level or like a protocol level, people can basically, offer incentives for, locking up certain tokens or performing certain actions. And it tends to attract some volume. I mean, like assistant was saying, it's just kind of like a nice streamlined way to like see a bunch of opportunities for yield. So
yeah.
I just sent you the link. Just don't share it. You could share the screen like how you have it shared now, but just make sure the
no one can see the URL.
Yeah, but you'll see only one on there right now. But that, I mean, in the next few days, like it will be populated a lot with like a lot of protocols and stuff. It's just this is the beta and it's still being kind of tweaked.
All right, so no link there, but there we go. Yeah. So I mean, OS is the Origin Sonic LST. So
you can click on that and it'll actually show you.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's see here.
So like instead of going to the Royco website, this essentially like unifies the front end so that you can come and participate here and just kind of do it yourself. And also like they can give gems. Yeah, it just makes it pretty smooth with the 4626 for applications to integrate. And yeah.
So basically here, so you're saying it'll have like gems and then like, it'll also have some kind of yield, of course. So
yeah, I mean, I think that having that just one page, like, because the logic behind it is fairly simple. If I need to make a tweet, like if our team needs to tweet about yielding opportunities, every application is going to cry that they're not getting a tweet. And then what ends up happening is that you just have so many applications like begging for retweets, like, please, we have yield. This way is just like, I'd rather just tweet this one website, like the Royco site, and be like, these are the best yielding opportunities on Sonic right now to maximize your airdrop. Go here to learn more about how to better position yourself. And then just let people go look. And then eventually when they'll go to that site, it will be like you saw on the other Royco, like it will just be, can you go back to the regular Royco, not the
what I was actually going to pull up is Royco because it does look more like what you would want to see.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So this was I don't know if this was an actual collab of Royco that Barachain did or if it's just like a fork, but yeah, I mean, so this is typically more like what it would look like, right? You would have like all these different vaults for all, all these different protocols. And it's showing you the yield opportunities, the points, multipliers. So just like
the
a nice
one,
like,
by the way, I just want to differentiate off the bat, had a lockup.
Yeah.
A 3-month lockup, which we do not have a 3-month lockup. So that's like a major factor to kind of think about there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, because this was kind of a play on the system where they were using this for like pre-deposits for the network.
Yeah, like a bootstrapping type of thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, like more so just trying to show like, yeah, I mean, like ideally when the Sonic one gets off, gets up and running, it'll probably look something more like this, where you can just like have a nice view of like everything that's like going on the network,
Yeah, exactly. It's just like a network dashboard. Like we could build this out ourselves and put it on like the My Sonic, but like why waste time doing that when these guys already kind of have it?
Yeah.
If you go to, it's actually pretty interesting. If you go back, if you click Connect Wallet, you could actually see you can permissionlessly deploy your own market. So like if you're an application, you can kind of set this up yourself. You don't even need to necessarily be in contact with their team. You could just click. Let me just try it on a different browser really quick so I don't sound too stupid. 1 second.
This is awesome.
Yeah, so if I connect wallet, oh fuck, due to regulatory reasons, unable to provide services. Jeez, come on. I'm gonna ask them to really to get rid of that. I think
Corn
is the best thing ever.
There's a chain called Corn.
Yeah, the Bitcoin layer too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like, or you can also just see it here that
their points are called kernels.
Kernels. But yeah, I mean,
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, just flipping around, it's like like this is base.
The pocket piggy into the bank.
Yeah, like as you can see here, it's
see when you see like lockup, it says no, there's no lockup, but for forfeit basically means that you're not locked, but if you do decide to exit, you just forfeit your points. That we don't have that either.
Yeah, so it'll just be like pure yield opportunities and points opportunities.
Yeah, basically
all in one place. So I won't need to go to Beethoven and Rings, and Metro. I don't have to go to any of these URLs. I don't have to remember any of them. Thank God.
I mean, it does pose risk, which we identify as like front end risk. Like anytime you have a centralized front end, like I'll give you an example. It used to be more of a bigger issue, I think, in Web3, but now it's gotten easier. Like if you go to a yield aggregator, like there's front end risk because they're all like kind of aggregated into one front end. So if I go to do a deposit, I might get kind of like it might be a phishing. But on here, I think it's pretty straightforward and people can double check the contracts. And Royco has a pretty, they just did a $3 billion kind of campaign. So I don't think ours will be 3 billion. I don't think it will be even close to 3 billion. But yeah, the more flexibility, the better. We are working with all these people that you see on here, though. So like Origin is Super ETH, Morpho. We're kind of chatting with Morpho to do some stuff. Speaking with Gauntlet, speaking with RE7, MEV Capital. That we have we had a good call last night where we have like a VC. Oh, not a VC actually, asset manager, who's going to be deploying a bunch of assets into Rings. So that's cool. It's called Cion. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but they're like it's a yield layer. If you go to CIAN.app, these guys should be deploying on Sonic pretty soon. Well, not guaranteed, but it pays to like give you a little bit of heads up. You guys can try and educate a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of new money that can come into the chain, we got native USDT now, right?
No, not native.
Not native, it's USDT-E.
Bridge standard, yeah.
But similar to, you're able to bridge from Ethereum via the gateway.
Yeah, so I'll explain that one. That one is like every bridge standard token, like whether it's USDT, USDC, wrap, staked ETH, like there's a ton of them that you have to like follow rules to deploy them so that they'll accept them as the standard when and if they decide to make them native. USDC's rules were basically name the token USDC.E, but USDT's rules are just name the token USDT. So what we've done instead is if you go to Sonic Scan, you can see very, very, very clearly that it's a bridge token, and that it's like you can go to if you click on the contract, maybe it's in the replies there. I had them put it in there. I think the contract address. See, it says like bridge USDT and then parentheses Sonic Labs, basically saying like that's our token because it's deployed on the bridge. So that's bridged on the Sonic Labs bridge. But yeah, I think that one of the cooler things that I've noticed over the past couple of weeks, and I would love for you to actually do this if you have a second, is comparing rates of stablecoin bridging is like very important. So let's say you have $1 million. I just use $1 million because it's bigger numbers, so you can kind of see the fees more. But let's say you have $1 million of USDC. If you go to dbridge, you can kind of look at the rates and see how much you'll get on Sonic. You can try from like Ethereum. Oh no, actually, don't try from Ethereum. Try from another chain. Try from like Solana on dbridge.
Let's see here.
I might be completely wrong, but last time I checked, this was true. Put $1 million to USDC on Sonic. And like, it sounds obnoxious to say $1 million because like everyone always says like, well, it's not realistic. Like not everyone is moving $1 million, but it's like, if you want big VCs to come, like you want everyone, either you're moving $1 or 10 to $100 million to like have no issue. Okay. So if you move $1 million, you're getting hit with $800 in fees. Okay. Now go to rhino.fi, I think, and check their USDT rates. They're much lower. For whatever reason, USDT rates on Rhino are super low.
All right, so let's take a look here. We'll go here.
Again, I might be wrong, but last time I checked, this was true.
Let's see, let's do Tether.
Change your
so if you go to Rhino, so the total fee on Rhino for Tether for $1 million is $250, which is insane.
Fucking significant savings.
I mean, that's crazy anywhere with anything. I mean, $250 to move $1 million. I mean,
I remember Johan told me about this at one point. Like, there's a reason why it is much cheaper. But I mean, look, the way that I look at it is, even if you don't like USDT, which plenty of people don't, like, I think there's an equal amount of people who don't like USDT that don't like USDC. Like, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like, you can bridge over, and I think there's enough. Well, there will be enough stablecoin liquidity, especially when Curve deploys, that you could just probably do a decent sized low fee swap and swap the USDT for USDC in chunks or whatever, and like you're still saving $600 like just by going to a different front end is nuts.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, going from $800 to $250. I mean, that's significant.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. There you go. If you look at the bottom, it says powered by Tether. I think they might have a partnership with Tether. Can you click on that? Does it bring you to some info?
Let's see here. Yeah, so they have a strategic.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
So
that is worth mentioning. I can
so
actually chat with the Rhino team to try and actually market that. I think that's worth people knowing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's pretty big.
And maybe we can get them on here with you guys. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, that would be awesome to chat with them about this.
Oh, another question I have. I was thinking about it this morning. Is there a way that you can co-host videos on Twitter or no?
Co-host on Twitter.
Like you're right now, like you're streaming on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But can you co-host? Like, can we co-host from the Sonic main account? Because then we can get you guys a lot more views and kind of support.
Yeah.
A standalone situation.
Yeah, I mean, then we just we use a StreamYard, and there's a way to like integrate the account to. All we have to do is get like a kind of like a code, and we can like push to the Sonic.
No. I'm saying, like, you know how you co-host on Spaces?
Yeah.
But can we both host a video space like this?
I'll have to look. Maybe that might work.
I think it's better because then we could simultaneously help you guys grow a big following. Like, that's the goal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If we just hosted this on ours with a StreamYard link, I think it would be less effective for you guys as trying to gain a bigger, individual following.
Yeah, I'll take a look into that. They pretty much have just about everything.
But we could still explore even just hosting one, maybe like once a week or something. If you guys wanted to change yours so that you host once a week on your own, and then we host once a week on the Sonic main one, I think it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, no, for sure. That would be awesome. So I'll check the settings too, see if there's like an easier way to do it. But
yeah, I think you guys would get a lot of viewers. I mean, right now you're doing pretty well. Right now you're not too bad.
I'd love to get those Luis numbers. You know, when you put those Luis numbers up there.
Oh, dude, I've seen some funny shit. You guys should have like 10 minutes of the chat where you literally just talk about the funny shit that you see on Twitter. Like, some of the stuff that I see on Twitter on a daily basis is so like it's deranged. Yeah. I'm not even talking about Sonic. I'm talking about like I just saw Paolo, the CEO of Tether, like asking why MetaMask is so slow. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
It's so funny. Go look at his page. He says, wallet. Hold on. Where is it? This 2 hours ago. Don't understand why MetaMask is so slow. Any action takes ages. Lots of lag between actions. Has been like this for months now. Something to do with the fox following my mouse pointer, maybe. And then an hour later, he tweets, update, move to Robbie. Because if you look at the comments on the MetaMask post, it's like every single person is like, you're using a thing of the past.
Yeah.
That wallet, like MetaMask sucks.
Yeah, this is kind of wild to me to think that like someone with like this kind of standing is like still, like fumbling around with MetaMask. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy they took the time out of the day to make the post, like instead of just switching himself.
Well, I mean, in his defense, a majority of USDT is on Tron and they don't use MetaMask. They use like Trust Wallet mostly. So maybe that's why. But I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've been using Robbie since 2022, I think.
Yeah. No reason to touch MetaMask unless for some reason the Robbie's not working. MetaMask sucks, dude.
It's like it works if you need it to work, but I mean, anytime there's an issue that existed previously that I had to use MetaMask for, like let's say it was like a feature that Robbie didn't have, it was like I blinked my eyes and like 2 days later they had that feature added. Like I don't know. I try and convert as many people to using Robbie as humanly possible.
Yeah, it's just way better.
I'm like the Jehovah's Witness of Robbie.
Are you getting Robbie points? Or are you giving your referral? I forgot that was even.
I feel like that's slept on so much because it's like drawn out. But I feel like when they do launch a token, it's going to be fucking huge.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I must have a lot of points, but I don't even claim. I must have so many points, but I have so many wallets and stuff that it would be. I think it's annoying to go claim all of them. I gotta figure that part out.
Yeah, don't, dude. Just don't. Leave them for me. Maybe that's locked up for me.
Well, while you're here, there was something else we were going to cover today that you might want to comment on.
Talk about base?
No, no, this was about Lombard.
Oh yeah,
this was another big one.
Lombard has a shitload of TVL. Go to DeFi Llama. I think they have like $3 billion in TVL.
Yeah, so they're making a ball.
Right? I don't know if I told you guys that a lot of these like BTC holders, like they usually only get like 0.5% yield. So like they'll deploy anywhere to get more than 0.5% because there's no real.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
thirsty.
sorry,
I mean, dude, just their protocol, right? $2 billion.
Yeah, and they deploy that in DeFi like significantly.
Yeah, their raise was $17 million, and they have $2 billion. And
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The $2 billion is basically just like big Bitcoin mining whales, like that I'm assuming have been around for a long time. Some people are probably minting, sure, with like wrap Bitcoin or whatever, or they have like native minting. I think Barachain had like over $500 million of Lombard deposits. I think. Let me check.
Disgusting.
I mean, we could have the same thing. I mean, honestly, like if you think about it for a second, if all those people who deposited into Royco are locked for 3 months, those 3 months are going to fly by. Our points campaign isn't going anywhere for a while. That means that they're going to look for any type of yield at some point. They're going to end up depositing.
Yeah, and I mean, if you go here, I mean, there's already for the Sonic Vault, which I think right now you have to deposit on Ethereum, but it's about to move to Sonic.
Yeah, they're going to add both.
Yeah.
But, sheesh.
Yeah, already 26 million.
Is that on DeFi Llama too? I didn't even know. Sometimes DeFi Llama takes a little bit of time for the pull request.
Oh, yeah, let's see if it's on Sonic on DeFi Llama. But yeah, I mean, already getting loaded up.
Lombard Barachain $343 million in deposit.
Let's see. And no, looking at DeFi Llama, it's not on there yet. So that will be big when it hits.
Yeah, I think that we're taking a slower approach towards like the points. Like I think a lot of other chains, they just like throw crazy points numbers out there and just try and like farm as much attention. Ours is more focused on just being like flexibility, where like you can come yield if you want. If you don't want to, no problem. But like the airdrop is happening. And I think eventually people will start to pick up on it. Like, oh, damn, we've kind of been sleeping on this thing. This is like pretty cool opportunity.
Yeah, this is funny. He says, Yankee says, we give them 0.3% APR on Bitcoin and we will get 1 billion in TVL easy. Yeah, I mean, it's
kind of the logic there. That's literally the logic. So, yeah. I mean, TVL as a metric, I don't understand TVL as a metric. I think that TVL is like probably the biggest like bullshit in the industry because it's not like, it literally means total value locked. None of that stuff is locked.
Yeah.
So like just saying TVL, the phrase, it should more be like I think they used to have another term like assets on chain or assets.
Yeah.
AUM, assets under management.
Oh, not management. They swapped out the M for like something.
Yeah,
else.
assets on chain would even be like that would make more sense, because I mean that's what
Assets
that's
in
the point.
contract.
Yeah, I mean because that's like the point of the number is even though technically they're in contracts or vaults or whatever, it's like still what you're looking at is you're just trying to say like look how much money is coming to the chain.
Yeah, like in the ecosystem or active funds, because I know like they don't count like they don't count LSTs and some other types of like yield aggregators because that's like double counting, which I get, but I mean it's definitely not locked. Yeah. I don't know. There's another thing that I read. There's another okay, so maybe it makes sense to give a little information on something I'm working on, but I'm working on a thread right now that does like a decent analysis on like the top 10 layer 1s and the top 10 layer 2s and their FTV ratios. Have you guys ever taken a look at that? Like FTV ratio? Oh man, it's kind of scary. I don't think that it has, as crazy as this sounds, I don't think that CoinGecko has it on their website, but it's on their iPhone app. So basically you just divide the market cap by the FTV and you can see like what the ratio is. But like if you look at some of these top chains, like dude, they're like only 0.3. They're only 30% diluted.
That's crazy when you think about that. That's scary.
Yeah, it's nuts, right? I had a call yesterday, Sam and I, with like a pretty big VC who got in contact with us to actually just start market buying S and like investing in the ecosystem. Like we have these calls quite frequently, but this one was a bigger one. And he asked us like kind of what differentiates you from the other chains. And like everyone asked that question. We have our own spiel, kind of what we give and we're confident in it. But then like another thing to add on that is like if you're buying the gas, like a native token of these other chains, like they're so dilute, like it's nuts. At least with Sonic, or it's not just Sonic, by the way. I will say that there are a few others. But at least you get a fair shot. You know what I mean? Like you're on a pretty decently fair playing field. So if I go to, let's see, if I go to L1s on CoinGecko and I click on like ton, like Ton's market cap is 9.4 billion and their FTV is 20. So like they're 50%.
Wow.
Let's see if I click on Hedera. Hedera is 9 billion market cap, 11 billion FTV. If I click on this Mantra token, which has been pumping like crazy, again 50%. Near Protocol is pretty 1-to-1. It's close to being 1-to-1. The point is that Sonic is 1-to-1.
Yeah.
So you have like everything's out there, and we have the annual expansion, but at least our expansion is all simultaneously deflationary. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I mean also it's pulling this off the top of my head, but if I recall, it was single digit inflation while you also have, deflationary stuff happening. So
I mean, I built the tokenomics with Sam. I mean, we take ownership of that. One of the things I can explain is that like on Fantom, there were block rewards that were pending that were like, it's not infinite on the original tokenomics. So like the concept is, I think, is because like when chains launched years ago, there was two things. First, there was the premise that all chains should have a cap supply because Bitcoin has a cap supply. So it's like stay being a purist. And then the other one, it was just optimistically looking forward and saying, well, there's going to be a day where the chain is going to generate so many fees that you can actually have zero staking rewards from the supply and just purely reward validators based on fees. But that doesn't happen anywhere. Like that's kind of a broken economic model. So most chains, what they do, if you look at Solana and Ethereum, like they just expand like endlessly.
Yeah.
Their supplies are infinite. So at that point, we're like, okay, I think that if we're going to do a major tokenomics upgrade, it takes a little bit of like, accepting the facts here and saying, well, if Solana, Ethereum, Polygon, and all these other chains are kind of have an uncapped supply and they have some mechanisms in place, like why are we not doing that?
I mean, look at this, Solana inflation 15% a year.
Dude, it's nuts. But no one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares. And you know what? I think like I think that we probably inflated too little. I think we were like, we wanted to be a little bit more humble and not really, because we have an existing community. If you're launching a brand new chain, like if there was a reason why like I ever am on a team that we're launching a brand new chain like in the future, like I would say like fucking go crazy, because as long as you're spending money and the treasury is growing and you're like doing things to like help the ecosystem, no one is really going to have an issue with it. But if you try to go adjust and multiple times later, like through governance, you should be okay. But people are still going to find a reason to complain about like expanding or diluting the holders. But yeah, hold on. What I was saying is that on Sonic, we had enough for 4 years to maintain APRs inherently from Fanta, but we just expanded it a little longer. We drew it out, and yeah, it's working pretty well. I think the APRs on staking on Sonic are really good. And once the network does increase and there's more transactions, then, even when gas monetization exists, where 90% of the gas will go to applications, the 10% should still sustain a pretty healthy staking rate on the network. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I think it's obviously been thought through really well. And as more people come to the chain, I think we're going to see the benefits of all that compared to being like super inflationary every single year.
Yeah.
So
that was kind of part of the conversation I had with a VC yesterday. Is that it was like, oh, how do you imagine? They all ask the same thing, by the way. If anyone has never had a conversation with a VC, they all ask the same questions. And it's like, how do you bring a lot of users? Like, what's the unique use case to bring a lot of users to the chain? And my thing is like, usually it's like build a killer application, and those killer applications are funded by VCs, right? So if you look at like Uniswap or like an Aave or something, they have a lot of support from institutions, and that's why it kind of like snowballs. But then I was like, you know what? I kind of throw that out the window. It's like, when you look back to last cycle, what brought the most users on chain was just like Ponzi's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Meme
now
coins.
it's memes, but I think that like the era of the Ponzi on chain has not, it's not gone. I think it's just it's coming back soon. And I think like I saw eggs. It's kind of like they openly, by the way, I'm not calling them a Ponzi. They openly admit to saying like Ponzi-nomics. But I think like just seeing like applications like that want to have like these cool like yield opportunities on Sonic will bring users, because all it takes is one. You have one app that does well, and seriously, you have one app that if it does well, it will bring the masses. Like it doesn't need to be highly technical. Look at Pump Fund; it's so basic.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, you look at other chains, and there are a lot of chains out there where it's like they kind of just have like one real dApp that pretty much is like most of the chain's volume and everything else. And
as long as you have the anticipation that application can and will die eventually, it's okay. I feel that. I feel that way. And I tell that to everyone. Like, look, the perfect example, you want to pull up a good chart here? I'll give you a good chart. Go to CoinGecko. I will give you the best example of a failed hyped application that onboarded a ton of people. Go to FriendTech.
Oh God. Oh God.
It's true. No, it's true though. No,
isn't it crazy that like
how many
crypto
people did FriendTech bring to base, bro?
Dude, in crypto, it seems like FriendTech was like 4 years ago, but it like really wasn't even that long ago.
Max, do it. You could do it.
Oh my God.
Oh, but hey, how many people brought people to base from FriendTech? Seriously, it was nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I don't know. Did anyone stick around? I mean,
Bro, it doesn't matter. That's my point. It doesn't matter if they stick around though. For the sake of the chain, like getting discovery of having people flood into the chain just for like, because they hear about it on Twitter or there's some like money to be made from something. That's kind of what helps you to get started. If you don't have that, even if it's a shitty application or something that like isn't going to stick long-term or change the world, like I don't think every app needs to change the world. I think there's a time and place for certain apps. But if you're able to have that and it draws people to the chain and gives them exposure to others, like for example, let's say Equalizer, Shadow, Metro, like there's a bunch of cool dexes on Sonic. The likelihood of people getting, opening their eyes to that by being onboarded by some like weird yield Ponzi type of thing that someone has built, that's why not. I mean, I don't talk about the financials of it, if people are going to make money or people are going to lose money. I think anyone who participates in like some weird shady yielding Ponzi, like they are signing up for what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah, it's still in a sense gambling at its core, but
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, just to, obviously in the chat, there's a lot of mentions of Tomb. I mean, but Tomb is kind of a good example of what it did for Phantom last run. I mean,
Wonderland, Ohm, all the same.
Yeah, Wonderland. Yeah, I mean, Wonderland. No, like fucking whatever. Like, I mean, Wonderland was truly how I ended up on Avalanche the first time. I mean, like I was like, oh, I gotta go to this thing.
Chasing that yield, dude.
Yeah, I mean, so
most people, I'll be honest with you, the first time I deposited in Wonderland, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just so confused by like all these, and like it didn't even matter. I think I actually ended up losing money on Wonderland because I just didn't know what I was doing. It was just so many people. I just went and kind of like, it's kind of like the peer pressure, like you start seeing like, yo, bro, like you mess around with Wonderland yet? And it's like, it's like the gateway. It was like, honestly, Wonderland, Tomb, gateway drugs into DeFi.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Corval's still in rehab from it. I could just tell.
I'm just thinking like I'm trying to think right now. It sounds like we're saying you got to have this huge, beautiful Ponzi with these crazy parts to drag people into the system, like drag them over the dexes. Yeah. I'm trying to think what is another good way of doing this? What's another way?
The only
friend
other
tech
way
sucked, dude. I'll be honest with you. I always hated friend tech from the beginning, and the only reason I did it is because, like you said, peer pressure. People were like, "Oh, you got to get in on friend tech."
Yeah,
100%. That's what it is because we already know, like we've already established this long ago. Like FOMO is what leads people to do anything, just in life in general. But like, especially on crypto Twitter, like if you see one, I'll give you a perfect example. I saw Dave Portnoy's stupid tweet about the stupid jail stool token.
Oh, God.
And I was like, this is dumb. And like, I've caught a bunch of memes. I also lost some money on a ton of memes, but I was like, this is dumb. But then I thought to myself in that moment, I was like, but his followers are dumb enough to actually throw money into this thing. So why not? And then I didn't. I just like forgot. And then the next day it was like literally 10x. And I was like, oh, so FOMO. So now it's like the next time I see another dumb cult celebrity do a token, I'll just throw money in there just for the hell of it because I got FOMO.
Well, the baby has launched. So.
Oh yeah, 6ix9ine has launched his 69th meme coin.
That's insane. I didn't know he was still doing that. That guy, he's supposed to be in witness protection. What is he doing?
Bro, the point is that anyone can launch it. Did you see the African meme coin?
Yeah, South African Republic.
Yeah,
the fucking Congo coin. That country doesn't even have like. Did you see his announcement? Like, he has like a video.
Followers.
His like video has like the worst audio quality ever. He's like not even mic'd up, like because this fucking country, dude, doesn't even have like a functioning state, and they're launching a meme coin, bro. It's
Don't worry, like all of the government officials are gonna have like Rolls Royces pretty soon.
Oh yeah, yeah, probably. They're gonna get the fuck out of the Congo. That's what they're gonna do first thing.
Wrapped in the token logo and like have this like crazy music videos or something. I'm sure.
Yeah. The freaking it's unstoppable right now. Everyone's gonna be launching one, man. What do you think is gonna be next? I think it's gonna be a company. I think a company is gonna launch a meme coin next.
I don't think that it will be
I mean, I think that's what the Enron thing is. It's a little bit.
That one was bad. I mean, will it be like nation states? Yes. Like I'm sorry if anyone is from any of these shitty countries, but like a shitty country will do it. I don't think like a NATO country plans on launching or fuck it, maybe NATO launches a NATO token. At this point, you know what? The more I talk, the more I realize anything's possible.
They're gonna say America's pulling out of the budget, so we got to fill the hole somehow. We're gonna launch a meme token for NATO.
Yeah, we're gonna pay back the debt.
So your question is, what do I think the next meme? Like, is it have to be a meme coin, or could it just be a token?
Yeah, what's the next token?
I saw someone launch like a USA coin. I think that's a bit far fetched. I don't know. Like, does it get any? Like, what is the next? Like, I keep thinking about that. Like, level up. Like, what's the next level? Right? Like, people before were like, I saw that guy like that guy Frank D Gods or whatever posted.
Yeah,
dude, nation states are gonna be launching tokens soon. This is the new meta, and it's like, and I'm like, dude, shut up. It was like some starving nation needs money, and they are willing to do anything to kind of get cash, like whatever. But
may as well.
I mean, maybe car companies or like I know Formula One teams have tried something like that. But I think anything that has a really big fan base, maybe sports teams, you have
Sports
to have a
teams make
shitload
sense.
of fans. Put it that way.
Yeah, the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
They're gonna launch a token.
Packers. Yeah, I
The
mean,
official Packers token.
I think like, you know, the sports players and celebrity thing, like they've tried that, but like if you have a franchise, like, you know, like if Mark Cuban launches like the Mavs token, I'm pretty sure that thing will be pretty big. And the thing is that I try and think about this too a lot when I think about these meme coins. Is like, is there a unforeseeable future of impactful events that could affect the price of that token? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Trump, I thought that was the case. Like I originally, when I bought the Trump token, I was like, okay, when he gets inaugurated, this shit's gonna pump, which it didn't, because it was already
the opposite.
Yeah, it was already mega pumped at that point. But like, let's say for example, you have like a Dallas Mavericks token or something, and like they go to the playoffs. Like, does that indicative of it pumping? They had a good game. Does that pump? You know what I mean? Like, is there a world where these things are aligned with like real world events just based on?
I mean, it could be. If you look at it makes me think of Fight Night, the crypto Fight Nights, where all of a sudden that became a meta when when dude from ticker Bitcoin lost the BitBoy, they dumped the token like 60%. I mean, the dip got eaten, but still they dumped. They like equated that token with him losing the fight, and they
imagine that base with like a massive, like cult following. Like, let's say, I'm trying to think of what teams have like crazy cults, like Liverpool, like those insane like fan bases. Like if you have like a Liverpool meme coin, and then like, they make it into like the finals or something, and then the price.
Dude, that's how you do it, man. You have a rule. You have like a Ponzi where it burns a bunch of supply if they win, but it prints more if they lose.
We might be on.
Well, okay, now we're talking here. If we had some Ponzi features too, because I was thinking like, why would I do this over betting? Right, just like betting.
Yeah, that's
then
true.
It's like if we get into like we make some complicated game out of it, people will play it because they think it makes them smarter.
Well, the least amount of things that you can do that are huge. I mean, I'm not familiar with sports too much, but I know there is like some shady stuff like betting wise.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that guy. He got like I think he got arrested or something. He was like a Charlotte Hornets player that he was like kind of playing his own parlays. Did you see that?
Oh no.
Yeah, he was playing his own parlays and like winning money. So he got like fined or something. But I think that on a big scale, like you can't really manipulate like a major sports event or something. And there's like a cult. Like, does it have a cult? Yes. Is it going to be around for a very long time? Yes. Does it have global impact? Yes.
Well, how about this one? Harry Potter token.
Like
J.K. Rowling.
Official
J.K. Rowling launches official Harry Potter token. Official Draco Malfoy token.
I mean, she already has enough hate on the internet, so like, why not?
No, why not? She's already a billionaire. Why not make it?
She should do it in rug, and then just like really be done.
I wonder how much of the IP she actually owns.
I don't know. She's like crazy rich, isn't she? She's got to own a lot of it.
I think she's like,
she might have owned the whole thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think they pretty much got to run like anything by her that happens pretty much.
Well, I mean, you did see like
George
it's kind of interesting that you mentioned that, because if you look at like Marvel or like DC, and like, let's say, like, is it too far-fetched to sound like they would make like an Iron Man token, but they made Iron Man NFT, like they were making NFTs that were essentially tokenized. So what's the difference? There's a speculative market on all those shit NFTs too.
We're gonna launch all the Avengers meme coins, and we're gonna target 10-year-olds, and we're gonna have 10-year-olds trading
stealing credit cards.
It's actually funny you said that. I was talking to the team today about just like, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw about Uniswap chain launch today. And I was like, dude, there's like a new layer 2 like every 5 minutes. Like, it's just insane. Yeah. So I was like, I'm waiting for the next headline where someone makes like totally unrelated. But did you guys ever see that like Sacha Baron Cohen skit when like it was like guns for kids? And it was like, you remember that?
It sounds familiar.
It was like Sacha Baron Cohen did a skit where he's like trying to train kids on like how to have guns, and like all these politicians were like, yes, our children should have guns. So I was like, we should just like create like a layer 2 for babies.
For babies, that's where you're going with it.
Yeah, like baby chain.
KYC it, and it's just baby chain. You're going there,
bringing babies to the blockchain. Automatically, you're raising 50 million off of it.
Yeah.
You put that press release out, he is calling you, and it's like, this is the future of
children are the future.
Children, blockchain is the future. Children plus blockchain, infinite future.
Infinite future.
But that's the logic. I mean, that's like,
we're talking AI nannies, AI blockchain powered nannies.
What's the next focus? Like, this is a good question I have for you guys. When do you think that L2 exhaustion hits? And it's like, no, it has to be, man.
I think we're getting there. I think we're pretty close. I mean,
it's like the liquidity is so fragmented. It's nuts.
It's getting bad. I mean,
I thought it was going to be over like a year or two ago, to be honest. Like,
nah,
we got enough, and it's just not stopping.
You know, no, I mean, in the bear market, people were launching chains like they could launch a fucking meme coin.
Well, you know what? Actually, the next step is going to be nation states launching meme coin or launching chains.
Yeah, I believe that. But it won't be tokenized because there's no real. Oh, wait, hold on, slow down.
Yeah,
what if they use the meme token as the gas?
Now you're getting it.
Yeah,
that's actually happening with a that cock, the meme coin on Avalanche. They are launching a L1 like off, or it's a subnet or L1 or whatever they're calling it now.
Yeah.
But they're gonna use cock as the gas token on it.
That's crazy.
It's pronounced coke.
Coke. It is COQ, so I don't know.
Bro, coke.
I can't take that serious, dude.
I mean, now I think like. Here, I'll explain to you why the layer 2 thing I don't think is going to go anywhere. It's like now, if you go to this website, hold on, hold on one moment. I have it somewhere. Please hold. I feel like crypto banter when I come on here. I should have all my links lined up. You ever see crypto banter when he like has like all the tabs?
Yeah, it's crazy. There's like 75 tabs.
It makes me like nauseous looking at that and thinking like, how do you maintain the order of said tabs?
Yeah, because I do that on a much smaller scale. I usually have about 10 or 11 tabs pulled up, so it's not as like.
And I'm sure he has multiple screens, which means that he like kind of has it organized. Here, go to this website. 1 second, I'll put in StreamYard. And I'll tell you why the L2s I don't think are going to stop. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year.
Maybe next year we'll get a break.
I think there's just going to be there's not going to be much left. But if you go here, you can kind of, this is why L2s are launching, because you could see how much money Base is making. So that's why like Kraken is doing their own layer 2. It's like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't Uniswap launch their own layer 2? Why? If you're making $100 million in profit, why wouldn't you launch it?
Yeah. I mean, that's easy enough, right? I mean,
the token is liquid, right? What's the profit? Okay. Let me give you an example. I'll give you a layer 1 example. If you have a layer 1 blockchain and you're getting fees from users, right? Like let's say, I'll use Sonic as an example. Sonic, the foundation has validators. So we collect a certain, we make a certain amount of tokens. I think Andres put this out in the financial report, how much we make from the validators, right? But eventually, like if you want to call that like a net profit, you have to sell the S tokens eventually, correct? We don't really sell much at all. We actually just have a lot like for the treasury as Andre put out. But like when you have a layer 2, you don't need to sell your own token. You could just sell the Ethereum into like a totally liquid market, which is super liquid. It's not your community. So like, what does Base care or I don't want to harp on Base, but any layer 2, what do they care about selling the token if it's not their community?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I saw your thread on this. It was good.
It's but even
this
now, by the way, I'm charging $5,000 per tweet now.
I mean, but dude, here's the crazy part is like if you look at this list, I mean, a lot of these are already ghost towns, and I mean, like look at StarkNet. I mean, dude. StarkNet was like locusts, like swarming the airdrop, and everybody left. I mean, they're still making $6 million just off their L2, so why would they not stay open?
One of the things I will admit to is like, I think Andre is obviously like a visionary in the space, and like he's mentor for like the entire team and a lot of people in the industry. One of the things that I like admire about Andre is that, myself and a bunch of the team, we do get FOMO and we see like these dumb kind of like things that other chains are doing and like, hey, like we should do this. And like, not to say that Andre shoots down everything, because he doesn't. Like he's very open, but like it's nice to have someone that like if we bring an idea to that he'll be like, guys, like this is so short-winded, because like he's had so much experience and has been around for so long that like it might sound really, really good because it's trending for the past few weeks, but like those few weeks they end, and it just those trends and those mind share cycles they stop. But if you focus on the long-term stuff, that's why, I mean, I hate to give this as an example, but if you can go to CoinGecko and look at the top chain, like the top rankings, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about World Liberty Financial and like the Trump meta, and it's like such a good idea. Everyone's doing it. It really helps to like align you with this, that, like a lot of chains were talking about it. Like movement isn't really performing that well. And Trump World Liberty is buying this movement token on market. So like, if you think logically in the moment, it's like, wow, movement's going to pump. It's going to be a top 20 token. It's be getting support from this World Liberty thing. It's below Sonic right now, as of this morning, I think. Movement is below Sonic, and we didn't do any World Liberty anything.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now. So
I mean, on CoinGecko, we're ranked 72, and movement's ranked 86.
Yeah.
I'm not making a comparison based on the project. I have nothing against movement. I'm just saying that like trends are really short-sighted. And Andre has like, because he has so much experience, it's like it's nice. It's a good like it's a good impulsive buffer.
Yeah,
you know?
No, for sure.
We get a lot of these messages and stuff, dude. Like we've spoke to the World Liberty team, we spoke to all these people, but some things they just sound really good in the moment, and then it just doesn't necessarily make sense long term.
Yeah, it's a big thing in this space, dude, because it's all trends.
Well, and if you're, and it's like it can be just like such like a time suck when you're, you're trying to catch up to the trends, and development takes time, and by the time by the time you're caught up, it's like the meta's already changed, well, so it's a gamble.
I can tell you so many examples of that, like over the past few years, where I saw things that I really thought like, yo, all these chains are doing it. It's gonna be like, I think it's gonna be the next thing. I think like like myself, in terms of my own like portfolio, I should really pay attention to this. And then when you start to work closer, like with a chain, like with me for Sonic, for example, is that I'll just see certain things like come across the desk. You know what I mean? And I'll just like look at them and be like, is this gonna be around in 3 months? And then you have to kind of like stop for a second and be like, it might sound really, really attractive right now, but maybe it's not. But the inverse is also true, right? Where there can be an opportunity that comes by that you think is like the dumbest thing ever, but all of a sudden it's the next poly market.
Yeah.
That I think more so that's pretty rare, right? Of like having the poly market come across your desk. I'll be honest, like look at Polygon. I'm sure at the time, and I know that we had spoken to Polymarket a long time ago, years ago, before I was around, but like, I'm sure at that time, whatever it was called before it was called Polymarket, it was probably shopping for chains, right? Going around, seeing what chain they could support and kind of playing the field. Now, if they go and they went to Polygon and Polygon's like, hey, this is a good idea, they made a long-term bet, and that ended up paying off for Polygon, because now the only reason people are using Polygon is because Polymarket's there.
Yeah, for sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, they definitely needed something like that. So
if something comes across now, we're like much more open to it. But one of the things that you see that's like kind of unfortunate about a chain is that you have applications that want to come launch on a layer 1, but they're not willing to do like native focused stuff anymore. Everyone wants to be cross-chain because there's like a cross-chain liquidity landscape. And I understand that. We get that as the foundation. Any deals that we ever do with applications, we try to make them to be native so it can bring as much value to Sonic as possible. But I think it's just gotten to the point where it's just like unrealistic, because if I say to an application like, hey, we really want to support you, but I'll only support you if you only launch on Sonic, they're going to be like, fuck that. We want to eventually explore the rest of the ethos, and we don't want to like have this be tied down. So typically we try to do like flexible, if we do a grant, it's like, hey, deploy on Sonic for at least like 3 to 5 months or 3 to 6 months or something like that, so that we can at least get a piece of the exclusivity. But I think long term, even with us, we're deploying on different chains now, like with the token. We're going to be deploying on another chain this week, and that's just about accessibility. Even if you do have a hub, like you still want to get accessibility from liquidity of other chains. Regardless, you should be chain agnostic if you're an application.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, yeah, man, that's we're well over time. So but thanks for hopping on again, man.
You got better shit to do. Come on, the two of you.
But yeah, man, thanks for hopping on as always.
Yeah, no worries. I'll try and set it up so we can do a main one from the main account, even if we have to have the StreamYard link and we like kind of figure it out. We'll get Mike on there, or we'll get like a bunch of the team. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, hopefully we can get you guys a lot more followers. We're happy to support anyone. I just want to say this too. It's not Gmsonic specific. Anyone who wants to do a type of podcast or video situation, like we're more than willing to jump on a team member or even co-host from the main account. Just let us know if you have aspirations to do anything like this, and we can support.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, you heard that here. But yeah, no, we'll look into that for sure. That would be awesome. And as always, we will see you guys Friday. Maybe the assistant will be back Friday. I don't know. We'll see if he has time.
We'll see, maybe.
Exciting stuff. Thank you again, assistant.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
And yeah, we will see you guys later this week. Adios.
Gmsonic is Corval and Dracula Presley. GM.